Hi, studies. How are you doing? Welcome to Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you are great. Firstly, I am going to say I love you, black men, and I love you, black women. I know how hard it's been. It's been from one story to another. They've been poking you back to back, and you are standing strong. You are doing great. You are doing amazingly well. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. And all I can say is that I take good care of you. Take good care of yourself and continue to stand on business. Now, I am going to say this. These people are not intellectually smart. I said what I said. Thank goodness that their language, their language is English, right? Because tell me how a Karen is on live television telling us that she is racist. Why is she racist? She said it is because being racist means that she has preference. What do you mean by having preference? She has a preference of wanting to be with black people or not wanting to be with black people. That is what being a racist means. I do not know where she got this from, but this is what she actually said. Now I am going to say this. I am not sure these people will ever retire because it is in their DNA. And I am going to tell my people this. I think Africans and the rest of the world who need to apologize to you people for not knowing what you all have been going through because they actually lied through their media, the media they control. Let's get into this video.
Why would you want to support a white racist?
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech in a country.
No, that's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. She is. I mean, would you use the N word out of interest?
Yes.
You would.
I do quite frequently.
You use the N word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist, are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist. I'm a neo-Nazi.
Yeah, well, if you use the N word repeatedly, you are a racist, then, are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendricks is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away. So you were saying Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter. That's a different.
Sorry, but just to be
thing.
clear, you just said to me you use the N word regularly. In what context? Right. Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate to use the N word? When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
So you're an unashamed racist.
Correct.
Well, do you understand that makes you a despicable human being?
I guess so. I don't really care. I mean, why are we not talking about Shiloh Hendricks? Why are we talking about?
Well, actually, I think you've moved it on in this debate very quickly to your own racism, which explains why you've supported her in public and why you've got all these views. You see no problem with a woman shrieking the N-word repeatedly because you yourself are a despicable racist, and you've just proudly admitted that with a smug grin on your face, which is pretty horrifying, actually, for most people to have to watch. And shame on you. You're entitled to do it, and I'm entitled to call you despicable.
This is America. She is on national television, proud. She doesn't seem to be scared. There doesn't seem to be a glimpse of fear in her eyes. Please, y'all, be safe. Be safe out there. Because this is... Hey guys, if you're new here, my name is Chantal. I am the owner and founder of Chantal J, where I sell dope Afrocentric jewelry for Black women. Please understand something. Over here in this space, we black, we proud, and we loud about it. And black women, you are loved. I love you. I see you. You are enough. Black men, you are loved. I see you. You are enough. Y'all have a great day.
Why are Jewish people allowed to be tribal? Why are black people allowed to be tribal? But as soon as white people stand up for themselves, we're labeled a racist. And by the way, you call people racist when you want them to stop talking about things.
No, I called you a racist because you admitted you were a racist. Hang on. I called, just to be clear, I called you a racist because you openly, proudly admitted you're a racist. So it wasn't a question of exposing you or pointing my finger or trying to get this out of you. You proudly sat there, bold as brass, and said, yeah, I use the N-word all the time against black people. I'm a racist and I'm proud of it. That's what you did.
Racism is just having a preference. I prefer not to live around black people. I prefer not to live in a country where white people in our country are disproportionately attacked by black people. Where in my country, you can have an Austin Metcalf where he asks a guy to leave and he gets stabbed in the heart. I prefer that. That's a preference. Now, what a real racist is, in my opinion, is seeing someone as less human. I'm a Christian. I believe everyone's created in God's image. So I don't see anyone as less human. But that doesn't mean I'm not allowed to have a preference and say, I don't like what happens to be coming out of this community or that community. How is that a bad thing? How is that not just a preference?
Because you've literally made black people sound lesser humans. You don't want to live around them. You want to use the N-word in relation to them, a word that you know causes that community unbelievable offense.
My fault? Is that my fault? If they have bad behavior, if they want to act in a certain way, if I have to cross the street and be afraid that maybe because of the crime statistics that are very real, by the way, is that my fault or is that their fault for having bad behavior?
Why would you want to support a white racist?
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech in a country.
No, that's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. Would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
Mm-hmm. I do, quite frequently.
You use the N-word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist. Are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist. I'm a neo-Nazi.
Well, if you use the N-word repeatedly, you are a racist, then, are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendricks is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away. So you were saying Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter. That's a different.
Sorry, but just to be clear, you just said to me you use the N-word regularly. In what context? Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate to use the N-word? When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
So you're an unashamed racist?
Correct.
Well, do you understand that makes you a despicable human being?
I guess so. I don't really care. Why are we not talking about Shiloh Hendricks? Why are we talking about?
Well, actually, I think you've moved it on in this debate very quickly to your own racism, which explains why you've supported her in public and why you've got all these views. You see no problem with a woman shrieking the N-word repeatedly because you yourself are a despicable racist, and you've just proudly admitted that with a smug grin on your face.
The prosecution rests. The prosecution rests. Right there. Boom. That's it. That's it. That's it. For far too long, when it comes to the debate about racism, and when white folks get a chance to say, well, you're being racist to white people, it all comes down to this. It all comes down to this. What do you really want to say? What do you want to say? What is it that you got on your damn chest so deep that you want to say it? Say it. You see, this is why I've always fucking dismissed this idea of cancel culture. No, there is no such animal as cancel culture. It's accountability. That's it. That is all. Every interaction I have ever had with any white person on this fucking application or throughout social media that have ever called me a race baiter or this, that, and the third, it comes down to the fact that I will hold you fucking accountable for what comes out of your mouth. That's me here, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. You multiply that by 1,000,000, you get what people believe is cancel culture. No, you want to say this shit, you just don't want to be held accountable for it. That's it. That is it. That's boom. That's it. When you call a black person a race baiter, what you're basically saying is, how dare you hold me accountable for what I say? How dare you? I want to be as racist as humanly possible. Why are you holding me accountable for that? Boom. That's what they want. That's what a lot of y'all want. This is what we mean by covert versus overt racism. Overt racism is that stupid bitch. Oh, please get offended that I called her a bitch. Please, please, please. I want to see a white woman defend that. I want desperately to see any white woman defend that. You shouldn't call her a bitch. She just called herself a racist. She owned it. So what the fuck you expect me to do? You gonna police my speech, but she can sit up and say what she is? Nah, it doesn't work that way. Sorry, doesn't work that way. It ain't got shit to do with race bait. Because if your ass wasn't being a racist fish, nobody would have caught you in the fucking first place. I could have thrown out shit all day. If it ain't you, you wouldn't be fucking bothering. Or what do we say around here, kids? If it doesn't apply, let it fly. That's what it is. That's what it is. That is what it is. All leading up to the election of 2024. When black women were telling y'all, your anti-blackness is showing, a lot of y'all walk around going, I don't know what you mean. That is covert racism. You didn't want to vote for Vice President Harris. Okay, fine. You didn't have to. Nobody held a pew-pew to your head and made you do it. No one. But the fact that you would bring your ass onto the internet day after day after day, antagonizing black women over and over and over for their support of Vice President Harris. Thinking, oh, it's just because she's a black woman, not looking at it as black women being the barometer and the true north of American politics, are seeing that if that stupid son of a bitch gets back in there, not only is your little thing, which is Gaza, going to fucking suffer, but so is the rest of us. You couldn't take that hint. You couldn't take that heat. So your your anti-blackness and your anti-black woman was in full fucking display. Your covert racism was overt to a bunch of other people. And when they held you accountable for it, all of a sudden you're fucking crying. Going on lives with Tory, basically dismissing the shit out of her. Harassing Tabitha Speaks. And guess what, kids? That's on the left. We're not even going to talk about the right. Because the right is where that trad white bitch came from. That's where she came from. How did she get famous in the first place? Broke ass niggas. Remember that? Remember that? And then when people held that doofy bitch accountable, what did she do? She doubled the fuck down. But for some reason, when we talk about it, when black folks talk about these things in front of cameras and microphones where people can see and hear us, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, when we talk about it, all of a sudden we got to be race baiters. No. It's time for you to own the responsibility that is, I'm going to say this, I need to accept the consequences. That's what it comes down to. These people want to be racist. They want to be. When you're practicing anti-blackness and anti-black woman, what you are doing is tapping into those roots of, I just want to say what I want to say about black people, and I don't want to be held accountable for those actions. But, when the shoe is on the other foot, when accountability is actually showing up, when people are looking at you and saying what you just said was anti-black, what you just said was anti-black woman, what you just said was overtly racist, what you were implying is covertly racist, all of a sudden it's cancel culture? No, the pendulum doesn't get to swing one way and stay. It inevitably swings back. It is why I have never taken that race bait bullshit seriously. How? If I threw it out and it hit you, bitch, it meant to. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. And that's not just me. That is every black content creator, every black social commentator, every black person that talks about these issues in a meaningful, deep ass way. You are reacting to something we're saying negatively because you know you are one of the people that are actually doing it. She just gave up the game. She just gave up the game. In as many words as she could possibly fit through her fucking soup cooler or fucking paper thin ass lips, she just said the quiet part out loud. I am a racist. I like saying the N-word. And I don't give a fuck if anybody says it. I'm here defending a bitch that did that to a child. And then did it to the Somali man who fucking recorded it. But guess what? She'll leave Piers Morgan and go find some little right-wing place saying, they were attacking me, cancel culture came. No, bitch. It's called accountability. What you don't like is being held accountable for it.
This is all I got from this video, and I don't know if I am in shock, but I am really in utmost disbelief that somebody is on live television and she is screaming that she is a racist, and that racist means preference. Where is she coming from? What planet is she coming from? Because I don't need to check my dictionary to know if racism or being a racist means preference. Because at this point in time, I am confused that, oh my goodness. So now being a racist means that you have preference, of wanting to live among black people, and that you do not want to live among them because they are nasty people. I don't know how to say this, but you know what? Black people, I just want you to just take care of yourself. That is the only thing. Just take care of yourself. To the 92% of black women, to the 80% of black men, you all are amazing. You are awesome. You are the very best. Because what I am seeing at this point in time is unbelievable, sincerely speaking. I don't know why I feel this way, but I do not believe that somebody is on national, I don't know which one she is on, and had to tell people that racism or how racist means preference. You cannot make this up. I did not make this up. You absolutely saw it. And this is what my people have been going through all this while. And then the media, they will play their mind games and call my people savages. Now you all know who the real ones are and who the bad ones are. Thank God. Sometimes all you need is just a little to see what you need to see. And I am saying all of it. Now, tell me, she is a racist. Absolutely. She says the N-word. Absolutely. When does she say it? When it is appropriate. When is it appropriate to say the N-word? When is it? Is it anything like appropriation when it comes to calling somebody a slur? No, there is nothing like that. See, I don't know how to say this, but thank goodness that Americans speak English. Because I think the only thing they have, like very tangible, is that English they speak and the accent, especially these. Because tell me how somebody came out on national television and he is trying to convince me that I use a slur when it is appropriate. That is number one. Number two, that racism means preference. I just do not get it. Now, if somebody could say something like this on national television, I don't know what she says out of national television. People like this are very dangerous to people that look like me, and that it's on period. I said what I said, and I cannot change what I am saying because it's reality. It's absolutely reality. It is really crazy, sincerely speaking. It is. So for how long? Okay, I remember somebody writing me, asking me, do I think that Black people will be free? I don't know if you are the person that wrote me some days ago asking me what do I think about the racism that is happening. Do I think Black people will ever be free and all that? I remember responding that you can take a look from where you or maybe our ancestors are coming from and where they are at this point in time, that you can see that there is progress, right? And the same way they made progress is also the same way you in particular is making a lot of progress. And all this progress you are making is to ensure that your kids or your grandkids have better life. It is going to actually happen, but the only thing is that we may not see it, or you may not see it. But I pray that you get to see it, because the way these present kids are going, it will happen. And I am going to draw the curtain here. I love you, Black men. I love you, Black women. Bye for now.